What are your thoughts about abortion?
I think that the women should have the right to choose what they do with their bodies, and anything beyond that is it's restricting. It's oppressive to have someone think that they can dictate what everyone or what a species or a woman can do in a certain situation. Like if someone's gets raped or and they end up pregnant, they should have the right to terminate that pregnancy because it wasn't voluntary. So to take away those types of rights and to overlook those type of situations, it's like, what kind of world are we living in?
I have to second that 110%. I think as women, we shouldn't be having any sort of person tell us what or what we cannot do with our own bodies because it is our bodies.
And would you support any restrictions on abortion, let's say first, second, or third trimester?
That makes sense. If a person decides after a certain amount of time that they want to have an abortion, and if the fetus is alive and kicking and breathing and moving, then there should be limits on that. Yeah, definitely.
I would say that there definitely has to be a time frame when it would be okay. I'm not as knowledgeable as to where when what's it called,
I think it's like
when their fingers and everything like that start forming, but I think the earliest indication of when someone is pregnant, I think that should, and when they decide that they're not ready, that should be the time frame of when they should do it. I don't think that they should do it like 6 months down the line or anything like that, because there are premature babies that are born and can live a full life from that time frame. So I don't think that's fair.
In one word, can you describe your thoughts on what you saw?
disturbing.
Shocking.
Now, can you elaborate?
I it's just like I have a kid, so watching that, like, even though it was animated, it's just the idea of it, like, it makes, like, I already knew. It made me uncomfortable. Like, yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess to elaborate on it, we all have life, and just to see that that being done to a form of life or potential life is disturbing. So it is a little shocking and barbaric.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Barbaric. Like,
Yeah.
follow if you don't want to keep the child, follow through with the pregnancy and let the child live. Or adoption is an option. I mean, I don't know. Like, it's a tough subject though. It's tough.
And you mentioned that you also are a mom, like you mentioned while you're watching the video.
Yeah, I had a choice, and I chose life. I have a kid, but I mean, people who aren't ready. I mean, you're never ready. You're not. That's not what. I don't think that's what procreation is about. Being ready. I think it's about creating a journey. So, I mean, whatever excuses there are, there's always there's always another way. So,
I think people should be given a choice to do what they want to do, but at the same time, it's not necessarily the choice I would make. That's why I haven't put myself in that position, but I'm also not in a place of judgment either.
Did you guys learn anything that you didn't know before about abortion?
all those tools that you stick in this stuff. Yeah, no, that's about it.
Well, what I said earlier was something about I wasn't educated enough on the fingers and when things like that are formed, but when they were pulling the baby out or the fetus out, suctioning out, it had its parts and stuff. So now seeing that, I do have a different, I think, opinion on how I would go about that. It's something that I have to research further, definitely.
Do you think these videos should be shown to people, and if so, to whom?
Yeah. This should be part of sex ed. That should be a definite subject that you teach adolescents going into adulthood. That's something that I didn't get when I was growing up. I didn't get that education on the consequences of becoming an adult and being sexually active. And if people start talking about it and getting the information out, it'll help with the situation that's going on now, because it starts here.
Definitely all age groups should be address this topic, because it's something that if you are sexually active, it's something that can happen and it's part of the consequences. So I think as much as like there are ads for commercials on condoms and birth control and things of that nature, I think there should also be some sort of way to communicate to the general public about this, just so it's something that isn't as uncommon to discuss. Because when you guys first approached me, there was that moment where I was like, I don't know if I want to talk about that touchy subject, but it shouldn't be something that's touchy. And I'm happy that we did stop to talk, because now it let me think about things differently than from what I was thinking about just initially, even before this interview.